Hello to all astrology lovers. Today we're talking about the planet Uranus. On January 26th, 2025, Uranus will gradually start to slow down and become stationary from April 22nd, 5 months after its retrograde. And Uranus will completely go direct on February 3rd at 1:33 p.m. at 23 to 24 degrees of the zodiac sign Taurus. By the way, on that day, Jupiter is also coming out of retrograde, but we'll talk about it in separate additional videos. To start, let's remember what an interesting planet Uranus is and how it plays out in our lives. How does it manifest? Through what energies does it operate in our lives? First of all, Uranus in astrology symbolizes very sudden changes, unpredictability, liberation. This is the theme of revolutions, the theme of discoveries, innovation, and this is the planet that destroys all old structures, which paves the way for the new and the unknown in our lives. And in general, the energies of uranium are comparable to lightning, which very suddenly illuminates everything around and reveals hidden truths, creates very sharp changes. And Uranus in general is connected with the era of revolutions, with scientific progress, and with the awareness of collective changes. It always emphasizes the role of transformation in our personal lives and in society as a whole, because it is, after all, a generational planet. As the ruler of the zodiac sign Aquarius, Uranus brings the spirit of independence, freedom, and unconventional thinking into our lives. It encourages us to seek freedom from limitations, challenge traditions, and explore completely new horizons in our lives. And Uranus in the natal chart shows the area of life where we most strongly strive for originality, to changes towards freedom. And in the houses, it indicates the areas of life where unexpected events, breakthroughs, insights, and innovations can occur. For example, Uranus. In the first house, he can form a very strong desire to stand out, to be unique. In the seventh house, on the contrary, it brings unusual or unstable relationships. In addition, aspects with other planets involving Uranus amplify or soften its influence. And, for example, a conjunction, it really emphasizes the power of very sudden changes. This is a must. Some event in our life. Trines, sextiles, they facilitate the process of implementation, something new into our lives. Squares and oppositions are the ones. They bring us conflicts, crises, and lead to transformation. In general, Uranus transits always tell us about times that bring revolutionary changes into our lives, which are very unexpected, unpredictable, but they always give liberation from something old, even if at the moment it may not seem so. And the transits through personal planets or angles of the horoscope always give us a reevaluation of values. This can also happen in relationships, changes. This can also happen in relationships, in career, in life goals. And for example, when Uranus interacts with the sun, then here we get a story connected with one's own identity, independence, uniqueness. If Uranus interacts with the moon, it brings emotional upheavals or changes that affect our family. On a collective level, Uranus governs technology, scientific discoveries and revolutions, movement, and overall progress. And Uranus usually stays in one zodiac sign for 7 years, which shapes generational values and changes. And it depends on which zodiac sign we receive these energies of Uranus. Now let's look at Uranus in the zodiac sign of Taurus and how it expresses its energies through this sign. First of all, this combination has a very revolutionary energy, along with themes of resilience and pragmatism. Taurus, the transit itself, it Naturally, it has been going on for the 7th year now, and this year Uranus is moving into a new zodiac sign. And when it is in the sign of Taurus, it always brings us deep changes related to the themes of finance, economy, values, natural resources, territories, and material stability. Taurus is a sign associated with comfort, security, and accumulation. And Uranus symbolizes change for us and innovation, breaking down outdated structures specifically related to Taurus themes. So when these energies come together, they create a very unique dynamic that shapes completely new ones. Forms in the areas of financial stability, land, and agriculture are all indeed Taurus themes. One of the key themes of Uranus in Taurus is the transformation of the financial system. That is, one of the key themes of Uranus in Taurus is the transformation of the financial system. Here, Uranus is breaking down all the models and offering completely new solutions. And let's say, if we are currently looking at Uranus in Taurus, we can already see what's happening. The rise of cryptocurrency and reforms in banking systems are either pressing issues, the redistribution of wealth in the world, and this is a period for reassessing material, moral, and environmental values. Here, we as a society are beginning to look for more sustainable ways of managing resources, including a transition to renewable energy sources. In general, Taurus, as an earth sign, is closely connected to nature and the environment. And Uranus in Taurus really brings up the topic of ecology, the topic of sustainable development. This is where progressive technologies come into play, like smart farms or renewable energy and waste recycling. All of this is becoming popular, and we've been observing this for a long time. However, here, there can also be very drastic climate changes. For example, either earthquakes or in general, any natural phenomena that are particularly related to the theme of the earth on a personal level. Uranus style C changes our attitude towards the material world in general. That is, the body symbolizes comfort. Taurus tells us about stability. Uranus destroys the usual ideas here. It forces us to reevaluate what is truly valuable to us, and here we can refuse. For example, from excessive consumption, we can adopt minimalism in our lives and experiment with alternative economic systems. And here, the transit of Uranus can bring us completely unexpected changes in income. It can open up new sources of earnings, especially if we leverage technology. So let's now discuss the direct motion of Uranus in the zodiac sign of Taurus, which is starting for us right now in February. In addition, let me remind you that we looked at how Uranus behaved in Taurus in the retrograde phase. There are videos about this on the channel. You can rewatch them. Well, in Taurus, Uranus remains in transit until July 7, 2025 until 10:45. Next, Uranus will move into Gemini for the next 7 years. And we'll talk about that in additional videos as well. Well, actually, the direct Uranus in Taurus is right at 23 to 24 degrees. And it is worth paying attention to the symbolism of these degrees to understand what energies, what influences we experienced and what conclusions we should have drawn from the retrograde motion of Uranus. Symbol of 23 degrees. Taurus is represented to us as an image of a jewelry store filled with precious stones. And here the main interpretation is that the symbol presents us with a very harmonious blend of natural perfection and cultural craftsmanship. So the gemstones that are created by nature through millions of years of exposure to enormous pressure, temperatures symbolize natural talents, virtues, and our inner value. However, to become jewelry, these stones undergo a certain processing by the hands of craftsmen who add beauty, add shape, and completeness. And this process emphasizes that true value is revealed through awareness, through development, and through the demonstration of one's gifts. In general, the key meaning of this: the symbol represents social confirmation of natural superiority and value. In the store, they embody not only natural beauty, but also the cultural recognition of that value. And this can be seen as a process in which our individual talents and qualities become visible, recognized by society, precisely through hard work, through effort, through mastery. And this is a symbolic image of the improvement of a person as a whole. When nature provides us with raw materials, we, through our conscious efforts and interactions, bring it to a shine. And the symbol itself points to the importance of balance between natural strength and cultural influence. We may possess natural potential, but to reveal it, we definitely need hard work, perseverance, and the desire to showcase this potential. The world and the social aspect here emphasize that true recognition comes when we use it. This is individual improvement. So it receives confirmation from the community through praise, through status, or through prestige. And it's precisely thanks to the efforts we put in, which flows from the energy of 23 degrees. Taurus, here we have a completely different image. He is represented as a fierce, a galloping Indian warrior with human scalps hanging from his belt. And here the symbol gives us a completely different energy. This, the embodiment of aggressive instincts. The sides of our human nature that manifest themselves precisely in the struggle for survival and for the protection of our identity. Here is the Indian warrior. He symbolizes a person who is very closely connected to natural laws, and he is driven by primal instincts. The scalps on the belt, they reflect not only cruelty, but also such a symbolic victory, the assertion of power, the assertion of superiority. And this image raises a very deep theme of the necessity of struggle, protection, and self-preservation at the level of basic emotions and instincts. The key idea of this symbol is aggression. For sure, in the struggle for the earthly foundation of action, despite the development of civilization, we still have within us. These are the roots that are very closely connected to nature, to the need in the division of what is ours and what is others. And on an emotional level, this can manifest as a readiness to fight for survival, the protection of our values, the protection of territories. This also reflects the complexity of our human nature, where violence and aggression still play a role, especially in situations of threat or competition. The symbol itself emphasizes the differences between groups and cultures that, thank you, help us shape collective values, identity, but they also create the ground for conflicts. The reference to violence as a method of survival tells us that humanity is not yet ready to completely abandon its instincts, as they are fundamentally embedded in our evolutionary nature. However, the symbol can be perceived not only as an indication of aggression, but also as a reminder of the need to recognize our connection to nature and understand our basic instincts. So this word is calling us to acknowledge these aspects of human nature, but it also teaches us to direct this power towards constructive purposes, this energy. It's very important to find a balance between self-preservation and this desire for harmony with the surrounding world. What's important here? To engage in cooperation with other people and with other cultures. And when Uranus in retrograde returned to these degrees, 23 to 24 degrees of Taurus, over the course of these 5 months, he emphasized the theme of these two symbols and created a very powerful space for our inner transformation, for collective changes. And now let's look at the key aspects of this period. During the retrograde period of Uranus, we needed to realize our natural talents, our inner resources, the ability to refine our natural potential to perfection through hard work and creativity. And Uranus was just prompting us to think about it. What we value in ourselves, what we value in the world, how these values reflect our lives. And this period is necessary. It was to polish my own talents and reveal the gifts we possess, to demonstrate, or at least start demonstrating them, showing them to the world. That's everything, to the world. And here the retrograde pointed us to the need to return to some past efforts, reevaluate some energies we invested earlier in order to truly reach the depths of our true potential. In addition, gradually, from this point, we were moved into the emotional and instinctual sphere of our lives, where in the foreground, the theme of struggle came up for identity, for resources. And here is Uranus. It has already made us rethink the conflicts we are involved in, both internal and external. Retrograde Uranus has directed us to pay attention to the roots of aggressive instincts that can arise from fear to lose what we consider our own, either out of the need to protect our values. Here there was already such deep work being done with collective programs, with traumas, behavioral patterns that have been passed down to us from the past, and connecting the energies of these two bound degrees. To be continued. We had to go through a very deep period of awareness and integration of these two polarities, the themes of creation and the themes of destruction, in fact, and to realize your inner value, to work through your aggressive instincts. So for many of us, this period of retrograde Uranus could have been a very turning point, when we learned to see not only our strength and resources, but also to understand that they need to be used for creation, anything good in this life. On the contrary, not to get stuck in themes of competition or struggle. In addition, we needed to transform both personal and collective values at the same time. Learning to manage our nature. Make sure to share in the comments, how did this period of retrograde Uranus go for you over the past 5 months, and what level have you reached? Right now, Uranus will be moving through these same degrees for the 3rd time, but this time in direct motion. This means it's time to solidify the results of awareness and put them into action in your life. Uranus has been polishing for 5 months. It's exactly the degrees from 27 to 23. Be sure to review it. The forecast on the channel about the retro movement of Uranus, and remember in which houses of the horoscope and in which areas of life did the energies of retrograde Uranus in Taurus manifest for you. And now let's look at the actions of direct Uranus in Taurus for each of the 12 zodiac signs. Gemini, Uranus in Taurus goes your way, the 12th house of the horoscope. And for you here, opens a period of very deep but hidden changes that will affect, first of all, your subconscious, your inner world, and your spiritual development. Uranus in the 12th house activates transformations at the level, the unconscious. It brings things to the surface. Hidden fears, secret desires, emotional blocks, and it provides sudden insights, awakening intuition, and an interest in esotericism, along with a very strong creative potential. Here, Uranus will create situations for you that will give you unexpected realizations. This can happen, by the way, through dreams or meditation. There will be a heightened interest in spiritual esoteric practices. Unexpected events from the past can arise because uranium is capable of suddenly bring forgotten or suppressed memories to the surface. This also relates to emotional wounds, family secrets, and past life events that need healing. And here, perhaps the theme of isolation or voluntary seclusion has been brought up to date, and Uranus here can push you to do just that. But at the same time, it will give you the opportunity to work on yourself in solitude, on your spiritual quest or creative project. In general, very hidden changes can occur in life here. The 12th house is hidden from the public eye. In order to work through energy, with Uranus in your 12th house, it's essential to pay attention to spiritual practices, breathing practices. You can undergo psychotherapy because Uranus will give insights, awareness. It will help you activate your intuition strongly and find answers to many questions. Uranus will teach you here to let go, to get rid of old beliefs and attachments, creating a situation for emotional cleansing. So you should be as flexible as possible and embrace any changes that will happen during this transit. Well, the changes that will occur during this transit, Uranus will be with you here until summer. I wish you success. Subscribe, like, and share this video. Bye-bye.